while we're doing that, good morning, everyone. We're going to move the agenda around very slightly to make a little bit of time for Amy to get here. But let's take a roll call to get the ball rolling.
Mark Doyle,
Yeah.
Amy Bondieri, Deidre Houston,
I'm here.
Tom LeCount,
Here.
James Plum.
All right. Are there any conflict of interest disclosures to make this morning?
No,
Nope.
none for me.
Not seeing any. You guys, when the meeting notice went out
Yes.
accordingly, thank you. No bills and communications to discuss? Nope. We will skip over the approval of minutes because that needs Amy to help us with the vote, but we can go through the financials.
Okay. Looking at the balance sheet for the IDA as of May 31st, we have cash of $2.7 million. There's not much activity for the month. Looking at the P&L, we have cash revenue of $91,000 to a budget of $309,000, so we're unfavorable by $218,000. We have expenses before the pilot of $247,000 to a budget of $747,000. So far, we're favorable by $500,000. We have a net loss of $156,000 to budgeted net loss of $438,000. So far, we're favorable by $282,000. And this month we'll be dispersing the second half of the tourism of another $212,500.
Great.
So, any questions?
Is there anything in here that is notable, that looking ahead somewhat?
Again, the revenue is what's going to really drive whether we meet budget or not. The expenses will stay online.
And is
On
there
budget.
anything about the revenue that you have forecast?
The only positive is that the interest is coming in higher than budgeted, but otherwise we need, we're looking for admin fees of $175,000 budgeted, so I don't know whether that will come about.
Right, so we need some projects. Okay, very good, thank you. So there have not been any committee meetings in the interim, I don't think. Yeah, thanks, Amy. Perfect timing. We're gonna go, we skipped over the minutes to do the financials.
Okay.
And so we can go back to the minutes
Okay.
and look for a motion to approve them.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the May 14th meeting.
A second? I'll second. Second them, thank you. Let's take a vote. Roll call.
Tom LeCount,
Yes.
Deidre Houston,
Approve.
Amy Bondieri.
Approve.
Mark Doyle.
Approve. Okay, excellent. Right, so we don't have any unfinished business as such. What we want to do then is, I'm sorry. We really have to look at the authorization of the, well, we have to do this, the election of, I guess, myself to the board, right? And then the check signing details. So the designation of the acting executive director, CEO will come back to that in a minute. So we need to make a vote for the officer elections, correct? Don, how do we?
Yeah, since you are moving up to the position of chair, The vice chair needs to be selected.
So we're probably not in the position to do that today because,
Well,
or should we do it?
were you going to have Jamie?
We'd like to do that, but
He doesn't have to be
he
here.
doesn't have to be. Oh, this is
That's
excellent.
fine.
So, yeah, that's excellent. We'll go ahead and do
Almost a
that then.
penalty.
Yes.
I wanted to do that, wasn't sure that it was
Yeah.
appropriate. All right, so very good. Let's look for a motion to elect, well, first we have to do, we can do it as one motion. Firstly, to elect me as chair, Jamie as vice
Didn't we
chair,
elect you as chair last meeting?
as interim, I think.
Interim.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I think.
Okay.
And then, and then, do we need to elect anybody else, the secretaries? I think it all stays the same.
It would be advisable to have a secretary treasurer if you can do that.
Yeah. Right. So,
We do have a board member who should be on board for the July meeting. And that person, from what I understand, if approved, has a financial background working with, previously with a financial institution, a bank. Do you want to wait until that meeting, or would you rather do it in this meeting?
You know, as an example, for the LDC, when we get to the LDC meeting, and there is a bond resolution, and it names everybody, and it has generally been done, that every board member can be an assistant secretary. The important part is that we need a secretary. I'm not sure that we need a treasurer in the meantime, but it's certainly not a bad idea to have one as well for now, and then somebody else comes along and we find that it's more suitable that they be, nobody was gonna take umbrage at the fact that they're here, that they're secretary treasurer for one meeting or two meetings.
can we call them interim and
Yeah,
just for the sake of,
Get it done.
would you mind doing that?
Well, at the last meeting, we discussed separating out secretary and treasurer as two different distinct roles. Didn't we discuss that at the last meeting?
We did.
There was, yeah.
Yes, so I guess the discussion first should be, do we want to separate the roles? And if we do want to separate the roles, do we have two people willing to serve in those two capacities?
Well,
We have one who would be secretary.
I think, and secondly, what Don just discussed is we probably really need the secretary position filled right now. We
Right.
can kind of worry about the treasurer later.
And it
So-
sounds like we're onboarding a member that may be interested in treasurer,
Right,
so.
right,
Well, yeah, we'll have to make it so.
depending on you guys.
Put a little
So-
red bow around it.
All right, so I think that what we're doing is a sort of a package deal here, of a slate of chair, vice chair, and secretary. So chair myself, vice being Jamie, secretary yourself, and we'll just make that a single resolution.
Who's the secretary? Tom?
Tom, the count.
Thank you, Tom.
And so let's could somebody make a motion?
I'll make a motion
For that.
for the
Thank
vote.
I will second it.
you.
Okay. Tom LeCount,
Approved.
Deidre Hughes.
Yes.
Houston,
Yes.
Amy Bondieri,
Approve.
Mark Phillips.
Approve. Okay. Do we need to vote, in fact, on the approval for check signing?
Yeah, you should do that.
Okay. That approval will go to myself, Jamie, and Tom, the three of us, and Jane. I'm assuming you already have that, but we'll vote on that now.
Okay, I don't have,
Check signing.
right, I need at least one other besides yourself. I can second sign on any check. So if Jamie is listed here as secretary treasurer, he's going to be
Well,
Maybe if I-
no, he's going to be,
interim
Jamie's going
vice
to,
chair, or is he going to be vice chair?
he is going to be vice chair.
Okay, so I think we need him as a signature, and then usually it's a secretary treasurer as another signature. Just if
So
in case
do you-
anybody's on vacation.
So do you need in other words, do you need mine, Jamie's and Tom's to make it?
Would be sufficient for now, and then
Right.
if we have to, when the treasurer comes in, we'd have to re-sign.
Right.
Redo the signatures.
That's fine. And then do we need to include you in the vote? Do you already have a signature?
Everybody, I have to be included also in this vote because
Okay, we'll do that.
we have to do all new signature cards.
Fine. So we'll make, again, one vote for myself, for Jamie, for Tom, and for Jane to be signatories to I guess, to one account or
IDA.
to all, to the IDA?
This is for the IDA account.
Account, right, okay,
I'll make that motion.
thank you.
I'll second.
Yes, Tom McCount,
Approved.
Deidre Houston.
Approve.
Amy Bondieri.
Approve.
Approved.
I think we,
Well, for Jane, so the item of the, jumping around, because I wasn't very sure about this, where this fits in, but Jasmine's helping me understand. Do we need to make a designation for you, Jane, as the acting executive director in the meantime, or how does that actually work?
Yes, it should be done. On the LDC side, it happens automatically by the bylaws, but it does not happen.
Okay, I
On
did
the
not
IDA side, so it is advisable to have her appointed as the acting executive director and CEO. Not CEO. CEO is on the LDC side, so just the acting director, executive director.
So the resolution will be to authorize or designate Jane Denbon as the acting executive director for the IDA.
Correct.
All right, once again, we'll make a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Tom.
I'll second.
Second, we'll vote on that.
Tom McCount,
Approved.
Deidre Houston.
Approve.
Amy Bondieri.
Approved.
Mark Doyle.
Approve. Wonderful. All right, now, without there being, let me just discuss what we're going to do going forward. We're going to go into the LDC meeting and after this, and after the business after concluding the business that we have to do, we're going to go into executive session and do some business with that. Now, I don't know that we've just had this discussion. We discussed whether we need to go back in to reopen IDA, but it's not necessary. So we will conclude, adjourn IDA meeting right now. Just wanted to put this up front and go right over to the LDC. The reason IDA contracts services from LDC in terms of staff. So we're set up right now. The only additional change we needed to make was to include Jane as the acting executive director right now. So, good. Okay, so we'll adjourn the IDA.